sorry, y'all, we're back again. Talking college ball, where we always win. Brandon, Mark, and Matt, riding tall in the saddle. Ain't no crew like us when we're heading to battle. Tell your folks, call your kin, we're spilling the beans. Just three old boys living country dreams. Hot takes and jokes, we're shooting straight. Boise State pride, we're setting y'all straight. So grab your boots and crank up the sound. We're about to lay.
What is up, everybody? We hope that you have grabbed your boots and that you are ready to head to battle. What battle is he talking about, Brandon?
Not sure.
Heading to battle.
Whatever battle you face throughout the week.
Did
Maybe
you-
mainly getting through this podcast. You're like embarking in a serious battle here.
In about a 1 hour battle.
Oh, yeah.
So grab your boots, get ready. This is the Shirts and Skins podcast. I'm Matt
Yes.
Lamb. Brandon Miner's here. Mark Moss found some time in his schedule to join us. We
Hey.
appreciate it, Mark.
Why am I always getting a hard time?
Thanks, bro.
Thanks.
Let's
Dude,
just jump right
Appreciate
in.
you- appreciate
Jump
you
right
being
in.
here.
Throw him under the
Appreciate
bus.
you being
2 weeks
here.
in a row,
No,
less than a minute in.
I was being appreciative, Mark. And
Happy to have you.
I think I figured what happened. You guys
What?
see each other definitely more than I do during the week.
Okay.
And I'm sure
Hey,
you
Brandon,
talk.
did I see you during the week?
No.
Okay.
No.
You've communicated together without me.
Okay.
I'm sure. Because what happened was, I'm sure you guys were talking, oh, we're going to do the Sunday, blah, blah, blah. Then I get a text. I'm like, oh, man, I don't know if I can do it. Well, we're planning on doing this. I didn't know. No one told me till yesterday. And here we are.
You're here.
Jeez.
Mark
You're here.
waits around for
It's like I'm
somebody to tell him when we're going to
Yeah.
meet.
Well, yeah.
Because
Every other week.
Why would I?
Every other week.
Well, I didn't know that.
You're told.
I didn't know that. Every other week.
You should watch
Every
the
other
last
Sunday.
episode.
I didn't
yeah.
know.
All right.
I didn't know that was
Well,
just
we're glad you're here,
A
Mark.
little insight into the amount of
Yes.
pre-planning we have into these.
Okay.
Okay, this I want to read a comment. This kind of ties into what we just talked about, and I want to get a little feedback from you too. This is from our buddy Tim Roby, R-O-B-Y. I think it's Roby.
Commented before?
He probably has. I think I met him
Oh.
at the BNN dinner thing.
Yeah.
that one night.
Yeah.
He says, "I'm convinced you guys need to rebrand and call the show Wet Blanket, Silver Lining, and the Comic Relief. I'll let you each pick your appropriate new title."
Oh. Yikes. That's actually
I'm the
really
wet
difficult.
blanket
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
For no doubt about that.
Silver lining? I don't know how I feel
Yeah.
about
That's
the silver
you,
lining.
Matt's
Me?
the comic relief. Is that what one of us is supposed
I
to
don't
be
know.
of each? Or
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Oh, I'm the wet blanket. We know that.
Yeah.
I'm the. I like to call it the realist, but that's fine.
The wet blanket, yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah,
definitely
I'll
a wet
accept
blanket.
that. That's my role here.
But you need a good wet blanket. It can't all
course
just
you
be
do.
like
Of
awesome
course,
stuff, right?
I mean, perfectly identified wet blanket. Comic relief, yes.
Yeah.
Silver lining? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's a better way to
Yeah, those
get
ones
that
could
third
kind of
role.
go either way with me and
Yeah.
you, I think.
But not a bad rebranding.
Not bad. Not
Not a
bad.
bad
I don't
rebranding.
think it's going to happen.
Good comment. Good comment.
But we appreciate the comment. Last episode, we mentioned that you could get your face on the wall for $10
Yes, you could.
by Venmoing Brandon's Venmo.
Yes.
We posted it. What is it, Brandon?
At Brandon dash Minard or
something
something
like that.
We'll post it again. We can post
You
it right
better
now.
post it
We'll
again.
throw it up
We'll
again.
post it right now.
And we got just a huge response.
Yeah, incredible response. There we go. Jackson's on it today.
Yeah.
He's just like already locked in. We got a bunch of them. Okay, here's the deal. We're gonna start with the solid contributors to the show. One longtime listener, right above Mark's head,
Right there.
to
Point
the top left,
Point to him, Mark.
right there.
Right there.
Dr. Jameson Davis,
Dude, he's
dentist.
he's a doctor.
Dentist. So,
Doctor.
DD
DDS.
DDS, right? So, Casper, Wyoming, big fan. Also, my cousin.
Also was a kicker.
Also was a kicker for Boise State and for Colorado under Dan Hawkins. So
Before the transfer portal was a thing,
he was a transfer portal
he
kid.
was a transfer guy.
Yeah, so he
20
did
years
that. His greatest moment, tackling a kick returner against Florida State. Decent tackle.
Did
Really
he?
pretty good hit.
Was he like the kicker? Did he?
He was
or
the
was he a
kickoff
backup?
guy.
Oh, he's a kickoff.
Yeah, he
guy.
was a kickoff guy. I think
Okay.
he got some field goal attempts. I don't remember how many he did or how many he made. So but kind of cool.
Thank you, Jameson. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Jameson, Dr. Davis, right on there. Get it on there. Way to go. He's big. And over my right shoulder, left shoulder,
Right there. Another.
is another dentist, man. Big fans among the dentists here. So we're looking at it right here. DDS, Dr. Chris Miner, Boise Dentistry Code. Check him out on Eagle Road, a couple locations across the valley. Also a big listener, late addition to the listener.
Yeah, he wasn't a listener from the get-go.
Probably a year. It was probably a good year until he was like, "Wait, you guys
He
are
made
doing
us earn
podcast?"
it. Yeah, he made us earn it.
Spent so
So
much time on Threads, but
big threads guy.
Big on the threads.
Big threads guy.
Yeah.
And then we got another listener posted that he wanted to, not of himself, he paid us twice.
Paid us twice. This
listener has a little bit of baggage with prior Boise State basketball players, and he paid us to get a picture of Jace Whiting's shoes and socks.
His black shoe white sock combo.
Yeah, this was the best I could get.
it works.
This is the best I could get.
Are those actually
Those are
his?
actually
Yeah.
his.
Okay.
A picture of him dribbling for Boise State. Very difficult to get a high resolution picture of that.
You got it though.
So that's Jace Whiting. He's on the board. His feet, you'll never know that those are his unless you listen to his. And then this listener also paid for Jace Whiting's sister, Amari Whiting, who's a current basketball
BYU.
player for Brigham Young University women's basketball. And quote, the better of the two is what he said. The better of the two Whitings.
He said the best
Talk
Whiting
about-
sibling.
Talk about
Hurtful.
taking a stray. Amari Whiting rolls in here. How did that happen?
Yeah, she got on the board. So and a listener, actually, the producer pointed out. Shout out to the first female on the board.
Yes. Yes. If we don't get a cease and desist letter from the Whiting family,
How could they? She's featured on
she
the
is
wall.
You know what we'll
right in the
say?
middle.
Pay us $20 and we'll
take
take
it down.
we'll take both down. So that's what the rules are. They know the rules.
It comes with a cost. you
Yeah,
know.
it really does.
Pay
So
the fee, take them down.
yeah. So we'll post the Venmo again. If you want your picture posted like these two beautiful young men that are dentists, and then some of the Whiting
student
family,
athletes.
some
Yeah.
student athletes.
Yeah. And Chris got a free plug for
He
Boise
sure did.
Dentistry
We
Code.
talk about Boise
Yeah.
Dentistry Code.
So that's worth
check
the
him
price
out.
of $10 as well. Travis Hawks made it on there because he was
a
found
guest.
Uh,
in my car.
Just floating
He
around.
was in the
You just had a picture of him in your car?
well, he was with the group of pictures.
Oh,
He was the original
He
bass.
was hiding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's on there now. So anyway, we got a couple on there.
Travis Hawks, you hear about him yelling to Richard Pitino?
Yeah.
Getting a little
Definitely need to
word
discuss
battle
that.
there.
Definitely need to discuss that. In fact, this is the a little bit of the game that we are going to discuss.
Wow! Oh no! Meadow going to the left and he slaps it down! Wow!
Nevada,
One more chance.
Boise State.
Yeah.
It was a great game.
It's been a great game.
Great game.
You teased it. Can I make one more plug real quick?
Please. Well, you're doing a plug.
Yeah, real quick.
What do you got?
I got a lot of pressure to do this.
Okay. From?
My wife.
Okay.
So my wife just opened up a consignment store,
Okay.
clothing consignment store.
Whoa.
It's called Pops Apparel. Pops
Okay.
Consignment Shop, I guess. And go check it out
Okay.
for all the listeners. It's on Glenwood and State by the Goodwill.
One thing I know about our listeners, well-dressed
Oh, yeah.
group of people.
The thing is, she has a lot of connections because she's worked at Lululemon
Okay.
and Anthropology.
Do we still have the picture of her with Deggy? If
I
anybody
do.
should be doing this,
I do. Deggy, go in.
yeah, it should be Deggy.
Deggy, take your girlfriend in there.
That's what you
Yeah,
need.
yeah, good call. Because
Because-
we know what happens when Deggy is there with just her.
Yeah.
I don't condone that. I don't support Deggy going in solo.
Yeah. Well, he should be the one propping
So
up
hold
this-
on. So we've been doing this podcast for a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like a big deal. If my wife was opening up a store,
A
Yeah.
competing
I
physical
feel
therapy.
like I would tell you guys. I thought,
Yeah.
you guys are my good friends.
Okay.
I had zero idea.
Yeah.
My wife asked me, what Jamie opened up? I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't you see Matt every week?
Every other week?
Yeah, well,
Right now?
and not even quite that. But I had no idea. So
Yeah.
congratulations to
Yeah.
her. So tell us about it.
They just had the grand opening Saturday. They're being full swing starting tomorrow. From
men's and women's.
More women's than men's.
Sure.
But they have nice stuff. They've got Anthropologie. They got Free People, Lululemon.
And
it's
so
nicer clothes.
I'm not super familiar with the consignment situation. So people bring their stuff in.
Yeah, so
they rent a place.
They're calling them lockers.
Okay.
It's like a section or a booth with hangers. So you pay that weekly fee. You come in the Friday before typically, set it up. Your clothes stay in there for a week. So there's a fee to set up your booth. But when you sell your stuff, you keep 2/3 of it. And 1/3 goes to Pops.
Pops.
That's how it works.
Right on. Yeah. I'll check it out. I actually work, in Hidden Springs, so that's like
it's a little closer
down,
for you.
Oh, it's way close. Just down the hill. It's like 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
It's real. They did a really nice job.
Looks
really good.
And she has a partner, I
Got
assume?
a partner.
Okay.
Yep.
Who, do we know?
Her name's Emily.
Okay.
And Emily, her husband listens to the show.
Oh, okay.
Do I know
Jim,
Emily?
shout out to Jim.
She's not a Eagle High.
She went to Capitol.
Oh,
so
yeah.
all right.
Emily, there was. Okay, anyways, let's keep going.
All right. Okay.
Sorry.
Going into
Cool.
it.
Right
Check
on.
it out.
Check
Check
it
it
out.
out for all you listeners.
Popsboise.com if you want to check out the website.
All right,
anyway,
cool.
that's enough
Congrats.
of free advertising for me.
that's a
Yeah,
Let's
how
get into
about a
Boise
little
State
bit of paid
basketball.
advertising for Pops? So maybe everybody needs to go there and like.
She should buy us lunch or something.
Yeah.
Dude, we had a lot of compliments about how we didn't have ads, and we just went 5
just
minutes
did.
on the
We
ads.
just
So
did.
sorry about that. We,
All right.
okay,
Yeah.
but that's good.
We rarely
It's
do
a
it.
family member. Let's roll. What do we got?
Did you guys go to the New Mexico v. Boise State game? And number 2, did you get kicked out of it? 2 questions.
First one, no.
Second one?
Also, no.
Okay.
I got offered tickets.
Why didn't you go?
I was on my way up to Bogus Basin skiing. We had the youth group at the church. We took a bunch up skiing at Bogus that night. And I really,
All right.
You didn't
So I
go,
wanted-
Brandon.
Did you watch it?
we got home and I saw the last 6 or 7 minutes. Yeah.
I didn't
go?
I didn't
Dude,
go either.
You suck at going to games this
Jeez.
season.
I'm the worst.
You were like,
what-
I love basketball. I want to go. I love being there. What
I
happened?
don't know what's happened. My desire to go is completely, it's about as high as Mark's desire to show up for the podcast. I mean, it's just
That's a problem.
barely there.
At least I'm not
I
paying.
mean, absolutely
hanging by a
barely
thread.
there. Yeah. I mean, it's just
that
like,
is just not even true.
basically you need to pick me up and put me into the seat.
Is it the
to get
is
me
it
to
the,
get there?
the late starts?
It could be that they start at 11:30 p.m. on a Wednesday night. That the start time has a plus sign at the back, so it's like over 2 days. That the departure's at the end of the
spans
arrival.
2
Yeah, it
days,
spans
yeah.
2 days. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's I hate to be this incredibly honest, but I'm gonna be it.
Okay.
When the game started, I thought I could go down with my kids. And it was an 8 o'clock start, I think. This is going to sound incredibly sad and pathetic, and I get that, right? But I could leave at 7. I could grab my 2 or 3 kids or whoever's going, pick up one of their friends, drive down, park, walk, go to the game, buy food, whatever, all that stuff. Watch an incredible game. That was an incredible game. Or I could just turn on the TV and I could sit on the couch and my kids could watch it and then go play and then grab food and I could watch it and I could text and I could be more engaged. It's incredibly comforting, or it's like very comfortable to watch it from home. I'm not proud of that.
Talk about a wet blanket. Come
Yep.
on.
Yep.
Soaking wet.
Yeah.
Soaking.
Actually,
we're talking about
this
BYU
is
later.
a comfortable blanket that I'm sitting on the couch watching it. It's just I don't know what it is. That game I would have loved to have gone to looking back, which is so stupid to say.
Yeah.
Best game of the season to
Great
go
game.
to.
Great game. Sound like a great atmosphere too.
Incredible
like it was
atmosphere.
kind of
Yeah.
like back
People
what
getting
it should
kicked
be.
out.
I put my tickets up for $20 a seat.
Did you
No
get them
interest.
sold?
No.
No way.
No interest.
They're not bad seats.
They're not bad at all.
No
They're
interest.
parquet level.
Way better than mine.
Yeah. And
I- what-
Ticketmaster was like, sell them for $84. I'm like, get out. You know?
I would.
Okay.
I was watching the game. I came
should've
home
given him
late. My wife was asleep already. So I get the TV on. The volume was down. So I didn't actually hear that reaction from the that was
Nevada.
Sorry, that was
Yeah,
Nevada.
that wasn't even-
But no, I had the volume way down. But as soon as the whole kicked out situation happened, I could tell I knew exactly what happened. And I was
What?
like, Boucher got kicked out again.
Oh,
And it wasn't
was a buddy.
Boucher. It was his seatmate.
Going back to that game, I have to disagree with Mark on one thing. So Mark always says the most exciting part of a basketball game is a dunk.
I didn't always say. I said that once. But the three. But you're
You've
gonna
said
say
that more than that. You've said it more than once.
Okay.
But you think that.
It is fun to have them mixed in though.
I mixed in dunks and,
Like,
and threes.
Meadows dunk against Nevada.
Meadows dunk
that
was
sweet.
awesome. Okay, that's true. A timely dagger from the 3-point
No
line
doubt. No doubt.
is to me the most, especially if it's back to back or if it's in a pivotal moment of the game, is probably top 5 of all sporting events, right? Of excitement, right? Like a pick six
Yes.
or like a long touchdown. Or the football has a couple of them. Golf has a few, big putts, hole in one, all that stuff. A knockdown 3-pointer like Pearson Carmichael was making that game is super exciting. And then if you're in the crowd, it's even takes it to another level. So that game was special. That was an awesome game. And good on Pearson Carmichael, Peanut,
Baby.
as they would call him. Good on him. I mean, he looks like a young, promising player for Boise State. I mean, an incredible young talent that could leave next year. Who knows? No big deal. You never know what to expect this anymore. But I mean, he looked awesome.
Yeah.
It was so, and it seemed like that's the spark we needed, you know?
It was for that game for sure.
Oh,
He was a
absolutely.
huge spark. It was interesting though. If we jump ahead to the Nevada game,
Yeah.
Carmichael didn't look
Did he
so
score?
great.
Yeah, no.
He had 2 points. He shot a corner 3, missed it, and then followed that with a deep 3, and it was like they yanked him.
Yeah.
He played 11 minutes.
Here's-
And his plus minus was -11.
Here's been the problem.
So
And this has been the problem all season long,
Yep.
okay? Somebody will come off hey, Jackson. Hey, there we go. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
he's awake.
Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, sure. Lockett comes off the bench at San Diego State and scores a decent amount. I don't know if he had... Okay, 16.
Here, at home.
Gone.
Against San Diego State. Yep.
Gone.
Yep.
Every other game after that, okay? And that's what we were always worried about. One person has a big game, right? For the most part, the same guys have big games. Deggy's always there. Alvaro's been incredibly consistent the last 10 or so games. Buchanan's been great. Meadow's up and down to me. Meadow's incredibly
Yeah.
up and down to me.
Big game against Nevada.
Big
Huge
game against Nevada.
Best game of the season,
I would
for
say,
sure.
yeah. So his high,
Maybe best of his career. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it was a
Yeah,
career high.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But everybody's been saying that they've been waiting for that game from him. It hasn't come until what? What are we? 26 games into the season, and so it's just been one of those things where you'll have 2 or 3 guys consistently producing, and then one guy produce, and then when nobody else shows up, we lose by San Diego State by 100, or New Mexico at their place by 100, or we just get blown out. And so we just need that consistent play from the supporting staff. And it was so odd, especially that New Mexico game. Omar comes in and is lighting it up. I mean,
He hit a 3.
he hit a 3. I think he had a few putbacks at the rim that was doing really well. Great defense, and then they pulled him. And there was a bunch of comments on the game like, why did we pull Omar? Like what's going on there? And so that was interesting. But
He earned some more minutes in the Nevada game. Played 17 minutes.
He played okay.
Yeah, he did.
He's been playing better.
yeah.
Okay,
It was a
yeah,
good week for him.
What about? Can we talk about Javan Buchanan against Nevada? This last
absolutely.
game?
Dude.
Dude.
Yeah.
He was clutch. When
Right.
Kobe, what's his last name? Anderson.
Sanders, I thought.
Sanders?
No.
Yeah. I thought it was Sanders.
Is it?
Could
Well,
be.
anyway.
Kobe. This is his first.
Yeah.
name. I should
That
know.
guy,
It's
he
right
went
here.
for 30, 32?
Yeah.
Kobe Sanders. You're right.
There you go.
When Kobe Sanders dunks on Stanley,
Oh, that was bad.
it was bad, and it was
bad.
it was big. Crowd was into it. And what does Buchanan do? Goes down, knocks
Yep.
down a jump shot.
Yep.
Right, and then again,
Huge.
he hit like a 3. I think he followed
Yes.
the next one.
I
So
commented on that, actually. I want
he
to talk
stemmed the
about
tide and
Yes.
didn't let it get out of hand.
Yeah.
Because it could have, because the crowd was just
Yes.
going nuts, and Buchanan answered. He had 17 points. Huge game.
Buchanan looked great. I thought it was fun. Yeah, that was huge. That was huge at that time because I thought. Can we talk about Buchanan a little bit?
Yeah.
I just thought.
Go for it.
I just thought. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't, but just in general. If you're a parent of a player, basketball, football, and your kid struggles or doesn't get enough minutes, don't jump into the post game show.
on BNN.
on anywhere, but on BNN, that was bad. I went back and started reading some of it, and
or if your son is a former coach. Remember Avalos' dad?
Yeah. It just you feel that, and I get it. Like as a parent, or we've all had either our kids, what you think, or whatever. Your parents maybe thought you should have got more time. It's very natural, super natural to feel that way. But to get on and make it public it's never, ever, ever a good look, even if you're right. And anyways,
so what happened? So the dad went on. What was he saying?
I think it was a dad and an uncle. He said more. That was just the one on that I
basically said you can't score from the bench.
Can't score from the bench because they were like, oh, Buchanan only had whatever, but he was like 1 for 5 and he had minutes. And anyways, but it wasn't just one comment. It was multiple comments. Like it was enough that BJ had to be like, yeah, I think you should probably just lay down. Let's stop for the evening. Anyways, but then he came back the next night. He came off the bench. If you go back, his first 3 or 4 minutes, not good. He came in, was getting killed. Yeah. And he missed a couple shots, and he was getting beat on defense. I tweeted something out about that, actually. But and then he came back and just had an amazing game. And I tweeted about that, too.
7 for 9 from the field.
Awesome.
3 for 3 from three-point line.
It was huge. But the biggest part was, back to what I was saying was, and you already mentioned it, and what Brandon was talking about, just the crowd getting into it, the threes and stuff, it's not that any single 3 in a game is that exciting. Right. It's that momentum build. It's a big shot, a stop, a score, like the runs, and then it ends with the 3, and then the other team calls a timeout. You know what I mean? Or something like that. And that was very close to happening. That dunk was as nasty as I've seen all year in college basketball. Omar got posterized bad.
It was.
But he stopped him. And then they had another something else. The crowd's getting into it, and they knocks down the 3. Twice he silenced the crowd. And that was huge. If he misses those shots, I'm not sure we win that game.
Right.
Like that was a huge run stopper. So that he played great. Meadow played awesome. Love that late dunk.
I think what got Meadow going was just his hustle. And they talked about it. He was everywhere. It's like getting offensive rebounds or getting, a putback, just being in the right place. And I think we've always kind of thought of Meadow as a corner 3-point shooter, and he hasn't been knocking them down. He was 2 for 6, which, that's good that he hit 2 threes.
He's strong. He's got legs on him. He's he's just a strong kid, and he's athletic. He's pretty good size. I like him. I think I like the team. It's just, it's too bad we're, we
need a consistent number. We need a consistent third part.
Yeah, we're probably going to be elite.
Is the overall feeling of the team worse than it really is?
Well, what's the feeling right now? It depends.
Probably. We just won 2 in a row. We beat New Mexico, which was huge.
I think the feeling is still underachievement, and that's just natural. We're still in 5th. We've had these wins. We've won like 6 out of 7, and we haven't moved up in the standings. That's the craziest thing, right? It's because the league is very top. I don't want to say top heavy, but no one in the top half is losing to anyone in the bottom. Like no one. I think New Mexico did lose to San Jose, but there's been very few of those. So we're beating all these teams, but so is everyone else. Yep. So we haven't moved anywhere. We're still in 5th place, and we were picked to be first. So I think it's still okay to be like, man, we were picked to be first. We're 5th. That's disappointing. But, you see flashes like that, and you're like, we could make a run, but I don't know. I like where they're at in many regards. I really like, and we talked about it before, but Peanut has he's got good size too. He's a little leaner, obviously. He's a true freshman. He'll bulk up. He's tall. Love his shot. I don't know what his percentage is. He's not shooting it lights out, but you can tell he's a shooter. But he's not just a shooter. He's getting to the rack.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's late in the season to be having some of these guys come out. But hey, I saw it today. Joe Lunardi, who there's a lot of bracketologists out there, but he's kind of the top one, I would say. He's usually, sometimes he's off with seeds, especially Mountain West teams. But, most years he picks he's 66 out of 68 or 67 out of 68 teams. He gets them. And right now he has us as in the 4th spot of his last 4 in. So 4 spots out. Which, we were thinking, so...
And how does
we're dreaming again?
How does a win over Utah State?
It would be
change
huge.
That?
I don't think we get 4 in. I just don't think the Mountain West gets 4 in. But if we win out, If we win out and get to the Mountain West, I don't think it is 100%. It has to be win the Mountain West championship. I think if we win this game, is it Wednesday?
Wednesday, yeah.
Then we're definitely favored in the other 3. We win out, don't flame out in Vegas, and we've got a decent shot depending on what happens around us. But
can I talk about a post on Twitter after the San Diego State game?
sure.
Do we ever say no to these questions?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
What if we no?
No, don't do that.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Okay.
so the San Diego State game, not our best game of the year.
Yeah, well, it was bad.
Lost by about 20 points, close to 20. Kevin Hyatt, who I think is writer for 24/7 Sports.
He's definitely on Bronco Twitter.
Yeah,
You know what I
so-
mean? Like, he's out there.
fairly, well-known personality on Twitter, said the following. This is, again, prior to the 2 most recent wins. Okay. So to his credit, I'm not sure how he feels about this. And he said, think I'm nearing the end of my Leon Rice era.
Ooh.
I like him, but his teams are predictably underwhelming. They always melt under any pressure. He's had long enough to build up from where we are. Feels like it's about time to thank him for all he's done for Boise State.
Was that from Ren?
He could be. I would
that
say
wasn't.
Ren would
Ren would he would like it.
He would like that.
Would like
Retweet
to
it.
That's a
retweet
thumbs
it
up.
He'd
verbatim.
retweet it.
With a quote.
What do you think?
I feel like we've gone back and forth. I think a lot of the fan base, I mean, you have the whatever percent that they're true blue, they would never question anything, right? Then you have the Rice haters. I think there's a big group in the middle that have bounced, and I would include myself. I've never called for his firing or anything like that, and I think ultimately when you take a step back, that's silly and foolish. But I understand the sentiment because I felt that way too. I mean, has he taken us as far as he can? He can't win a game in March. He can't, and those are all, they're not even like, well, the winning part is that's black and white, right? And so I felt that. I don't know if I feel that at the moment, but I can sympathize with the feeling because I felt it myself too. And you do question, has he taken us as far as he can? Now, when those types of comments are out there, it's funny because you do see I saw multiple people from other fan bases say, you're crazy. And I saw, so Richard Pitino at New Mexico is rumored to be in the hunt for some bigger jobs.
Right.
And you know what? You can't blame him. I know that it's probably a good gig down there. They probably pay pretty well, but the Mountain West is pretty much dying. It's going to be a one-bid league in 2 seasons, pretty much, 1 or 2.
After the Pac-12 thing?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking
I mean,
about?
1 or
Okay.
2. And so I could see him wanting to move up and move out. And there were multiple New Mexico, you know how I feel about their fan base, but multiple of their fan base.
Mortgage.
Wet blanket. Wet blanket.
Multiple of their people were like, hey, if Pitino leaves, they would love to have Leon Rice. I mean, they see what he's done
Yeah.
here with the resources he's had here. And when you hear other fan bases say that, you're kind of like, huh.
Well, can
That's
I pitch?
interesting.
Well, I'd like to pitch this to you. Let's go off. Let's name some of the new teams in the Pac-8.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Boise State, Utah State, all state teams, by the way.
Yep.
San Diego State, Gonzaga,
Gonzaga
Colorado
State.
State.
Colorado State. Is Fresno State in there?
Fresno State, yep. They're
What else am I missing?
they asked, but yeah. We had to bring Bedell back.
So if we have 8 teams, and that includes Gonzaga, I think.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah, right now.
A pretty decent league for basketball. Would that be the time to say, hey, Leon, you did an amazing job in the Mountain West. We want to compete in the Pac 8.
It just doesn't
9.
translate to the Pac.
I don't know. Is that a good time?
Well, it's all the same.
I just don't know what it would take to move on from Leon. Matt, if you were going to answer that question, like what would it take for JD to move on from Leon?
I would think like a 500 season and
Just
One 500 season?
not just one. I think 2 or maybe like hovering around 500. I think 2 of those, and you can't afford to keep him around with that record.
The best thing, so I think Leon, when you're at that point of his career, you've earned the right to continue.
Oh, yeah.
So I think everybody can agree on that.
Well, no.
Most
Not
people
everyone can agree on that. There's
But-
another one gone.
but-
there is.
But there certainly will come a time where if he doesn't step away, that he's going to have a few seasons that are subpar, and the fan base are going to start getting after him. And he's been here 16, 17 years.
Close to that. It might 14-ish, but right
okay,
in there.
so if we're getting to the 20-year mark, and we're thinking, hey, this is a new league, and we really want to compete against Gonzaga. And him and Mark Few are really good friends. They hate playing each other. They don't want to do it. And so, I don't know, a change of perspective or a change of leadership. The hard part is right now, if the Mountain West, if everything were to stay the same, I don't see why you would move on. He consistently competes at the top of the Mountain West. And are we going to attract somebody that's better?
Well, that's where I'm saying, okay, so he's getting paid like 1.2, 1.1, 1.2. Just name someone that would be better. Like, I get it. The Utah State thing is different, and I think I don't even like to compare that, but I don't know who you could get that you could.
Yeah,
there's no one you can guarantee.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be anybody out there that we know you don't really move up to Boise State. I think you would have to take a risk on somebody that has proven themselves. Yeah, younger guy, maybe an
do you want to do that
guy. I don't know.
How about this? How about that? Catch me outside. What if JD knows somebody, let's say at Baylor, that's an up and comer that we don't know? I'm sure JD knows people that are up and coming, and he said this guy could give us 5 or 3 great years and then move on. And he makes that switch. You know what I mean? It's somebody that's a legit contender that all the coaches are talking about. This guy's going to be the next big thing, and you take a risk on him, and they use this as a stepping stone to move on to higher, bigger, and better things. That could be a thing, right?
Yeah, I think it's premature to talk. I mean, it's a good conversation topic, and I just don't think I would be shocked. Yeah, no. It depends. Let's say that we don't win the season's still going. Like, what do we got? Right. 4 more games. If let's just worst case scenario, we go 2-2.
We got Utah State.
We won't lose out.
We got Utah State.
Worst case scenario.
Let's go 2. We go 2-2, and then we lose first. Either way, we don't go undefeated. Then we lose week 1 or game 1 in Vegas. There's no way you fire him. No. I think in that situation, though, I do think you were picked to win the league. You know what I mean? You finished 5th and you lost first round. That's an underachievement. You don't fire him. But is there a conversation? Does the seat just get a little bit warm? You know what I mean?
I think you give too much. You put too much value on getting picked to win the league. I mean, how can any coaches know, like, that Stanley's gonna?
They don't.
They don't know, or they don't know that. I mean, there's so much that can happen. I think when coaches say that, like, we don't put any emphasis on preseason rankings, I think that's also the same. It's like, you've done well in the past and you have some good players. Degenhardt's going to be there, so he's a solid player, but I don't know. I think there's a lot that changes.
I think the one thing other than wins and losses would be, and I think Mike Prater tweeted something about it, would be fan apathy. And I feel like it started to set in a little bit this year.
Brandon doesn't go to the games anymore.
And that's
I don't know.
It's
the Utah State game starts at 8:30. Mark.
It starts at 8:30. I don't know. I'm just saying that would be the one thing. If you weren't winning games and all of a sudden, so this year they sold out. That's the weird thing about why they sold out season tickets. 8,500 tickets.
Was it carryover from football?
I think there was a lot of. No, I do.
I think so.
I think part of it was.
I think there was a big buzz, and it's like, let's just go into the next sport.
I think part of it was.
What do you think?
A lot of it was sold before football, though. I mean, they were doing a lot of it before. But I think it was just this momentum. Degenhardt's final year. I think people were legitimately excited, but there just a lot of people have not shown up. But that's we've talked about that plenty. But I'm saying if next year, let's say it takes a significant dip, and then it's sleepy in there. And that's what it would take if losing and then he's like, wait a second, JD's like, I've been budgeting for 8,500 season tickets. Now we're at 6,500. That's a problem.
Yeah, Brandon, Matt Boucher shows up.
He shows up.
He has kids.
We know that.
What's your deal?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Also, point the finger at yourself a little bit. You have 4 tickets as well,
dude.
This is true.
Why didn't you go?
Same. It's the same excuse.
But aren't those seats? I mean, because I told you about how I feel. I will not go to Boise State game unless I'm on the lower level.
Will you ever buy season tickets?
I could see buying season tickets.
Okay.
I
under what scenario?
They got to be close seats.
I mean, honestly, financially, just be like, I can do that, and not worry about it, and But
So
yeah,
it's all financial decisions.
Totally. If I
You
had
would
like
do it.
extra flush with cash, didn't
would-
just open up my second PT clinic on Main Street in Boise.
There you go.
I mean, I'm
how
trying to. I'm
how
Shameless
desperate
plugs.
are we right now?
Dude, I'm pretty
Where is the
desperate.
economy at that we're just dropping it? We have 12. The people we're talking to are our family.
I know.
We're not talking to anybody new.
That's true. They know it.
We're not talking to anybody new.
No, but you asked my
And
question.
it's basketball season.
If I was like, hey, if it wasn't a budget, but that said, it would be something where, and I've talked to Craig about this, my brother, it would be something where me and my brother split it.
So you would-
because there's no way I'm going to 13 games.
You wouldn't have any intention of going
I
to
would
all the
never
games.
go to all the games, ever, under any circumstance. It's way too many games. Half of them are, not half, a good number there are not great games. It's just too many. With kids and I got kids in sports and stuff. There's no way I could make it to anywhere near
all
all of them.
inclusive for you, Mark, and you can just stuff your
Well,
pockets with Sour
Well,
Patch
now
Kids.
we're talking.
No.
If they're Dole Whips,
No.
Sour Patch Kids,
Mark would be throwing up in the
jerky.
aisle,
Dude, I can hold it.
moaning
I might moan, but I ain't gonna throw up, dude. I can hold it
on the
pretty-
floor, moaning.
It would be
His
a
wife
problem.
would be kicking,
It-
"Get up, you're
He's like,
disgraced.
Mark, is
It would
this
be a
worth
problem.
it?
You're embarrassing yourself."
And I'd say yes every time. Okay. That would give-
So there's a guy that
There's
I know.
too many games.
So
There's too many
My
games.
neighbor, he pays. This is your type of guy.
Okay. I like him.
2 tickets,
already.
front row of what you're talking about, where
Okay.
you would sit.
Yeah.
Not on the court, but front row.
Okay, got it.
Splits them with his buddies, his partner.
That's how I would do it for sure.
So you
Absolutely.
do what, like a pick 'em for the
Yeah, and then
games you go
draft
to?
it. My brother and I have talked about it a couple times, but we just both have came to the realization that we both have kids that are in
So
multiple
he doesn't
sports.
have kids.
My brother?
No. The buddy of mine.
Exactly. I get it.
But he doesn't go to
I
all the
understand
games?
it. Well,
He goes to
shame
half.
on him. Oh yeah, he goes to half. That's fine.
I guess
That's
I'm
his
just,
deal.
I don't know. I don't know. I certainly don't think that, going back to the question, was it momentum for football? The pieces that were in place, the hype that was in place preseason,
Yeah.
I thought had been bigger than any season prior that I've been paying attention to, personally speaking. However, I do think it's a problem for Leon that Deggy is going to be lost next year. You're going to lose Deggy, you're going to lose Alvaro, you're going to lose, I believe, Omar. You're obviously not going to have Stanley.
Whiting's
Lockett's
not
gone.
coming back. Whiting's not coming back. Lockett's probably
Lockett's
gone.
gone.
Whiting's not walking through those
No,
doors.
he's not.
We don't have Amari.
We could
That's
use
her name,
Amari.
right? She has
I don't know
a
anything
podcast.
about Amari. She has a podcast?
I looked it up. Yeah, it was on. Yeah. Anyway,
Do you think she's going to get fat heads of us
The-
on her podcast?
we need one.
we'll
I'd
reach
pay
out.
$10
We
to
should
go on
tag
there.
Yeah, dude.
So, but here's the thing: you're building your team around potentially Peanut and Meadow and Bowie.
They're going to have to hit they're going to have to hit
Hard
the
because
transfer portal
at this
hard.
point, those guys aren't the guys.
And Dylan Anderson.
Dylan's gone, right? Dylan's
I
gone.
mean,
I don't know. It depends what they can get.
he's
It
not getting
depends
back
what
on the
else they
floor
can
this
get.
season.
He's not back on the
No.
floor. Lockett's. There's no way Lockett stays. You got Ugbo. You got
Ugbo's a nice player, nice complimentary
starts.
player, but he's never.
Okay.
From what I can tell, he's never going to be your
yeah,
star.
I mean, so Leon's facing down a situation where he needs to go and replace.
Lockett could stay. He could play next year.
let me throw
You
some.
think Lockett's gonna stay this year?
Yeah,
let me
he
throw.
could.
Look at
Well,
the
people are
season
moving
he's had.
on.
he's got Bowie, he's got Carmichael in front of him. He's got a lot of guys in front of him, but I think they liked him initially. They wanted him to play, so I think a lot can change. I'm not for sure he's leaving.
You're losing
How about
RJ.
this? I think it's more likely RJ is not a senior. RJ's got one
Really?
more year, I
Oh,
think.
he's played
Yeah.
for 1,000 years.
Yeah, I know. He had a medical and a red shirt, and RJ's got at least one more year.
He's a redshirt junior.
Here's all this stuff about what it would take for Leon to leave. Here's the reality. I think it's much more likely that Leon leaves than we fire him.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be shocked at all if he's just,
Tired.
Tired. I mean, he's been here a long time. You know, his kids are finally grown up. They're all graduated. They're out of the program. He could retire if he wanted. He's in his 60s. Or he could take one more payday. I think he still could take a payday.
A higher up
Yeah,
payday for a
I
couple
think he
years.
could. I think he's got.
And he has
don't
dogs
know.
to take care of.
Yeah,
I think if he-
Stella-
dude, they don't eat the cheap stuff. You know what I mean?
If he wins a game in the NCAA tournament, I think a big team would take a shot at him.
I think he could.
But if he loses, I don't know how many teams are going to take a shot.
I don't know.
To pay
I'm
him,
just-
triple the amount he's getting right now?
I'm just saying that at some point, does he look in the mirror and say, or not in the mirror, but just at the situation say, what you just said, Deggy's gone. Who are we going to build around? Is it going to be any better next year? The fan base is a little bit apathetic. They are a little bit like, oh, and now I've got a lifeline from over here. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if he went to New Mexico.
You're kidding me. You wouldn't be shocked? Are you insane?
I mean,
of course you'd be shocked. Are
Albuquerque.
you wildly insane?
Mark wouldn't even.
It has
Mark
to be the
wouldn't even
dumbest take you've
tweet
ever
about
had
it.
this whole time.
Are you? I've had some dumb ones.
There's no way.
What if they said we're going to pay you 2.5, okay, and you're going to come to a place that the people care. They show up. It's a sellout every time. You can keep your home in Boise like all the coaches do. Come down here for 5 years. You won't have to play Boise other than next year. Then we're in a different league. I'm not saying it's likely. I think that's more likely than we fire him. I think he takes that job before we
you just
fire
spun
him.
that to save yourself. Here's the deal.
I'm not saving myself. I'm just talking. I don't know. I've
That's
never
true.
thought about
That's
this.
true.
I'm just saying that.
The New Mexico fan base would want results heavily from him, and so they could get on him much more than any Boise State fan base. Like the Boise State fan base, when they lost to San Diego State, was
Apathetic.
Okay, you're not going to get apathy.
But does he?
From a New
What does
Mexico.
he want? And maybe that's
Maybe
he's
that's what he
comfortable here.
wants.
Maybe that's why he's still here, because he doesn't really have that much pressure.
Every time I see,
I don't know.
I always do think it's a big life change when your 4-year foundation of your program leaves.
Yeah.
like a 4-year quarterback starter leaves.
No doubt.
And that's what Leon's facing with Deggy. And Deggy's been the rock for him for 4 years. Not 4 years, but I mean, he came in. He was a big part of that first year's freshman team when they won the Mountain West championship.
No doubt.
And then he held them together sophomore year, did a great job his junior year. And then this year, senior year, is doing really well. You lose that. You lose a It's going to be self-reflection.
Who's the new Deggy? Who takes his spot next year?
I mean, you hope Carmichael,
Carmichael.
right? Yeah.
That's who I think.
Where would, just throwing this out there, realistically, I mean, North Carolina, Duke, they're not hiring Leon Rice. Let's say Leon's leaving for somewhere to take a job somewhere higher or different. What's a realistic spot?
You know, what's a mid-major that competes in the tournament? Like
St.
a VCU,
Mary's?
Butler, St. Mary. Dude, St. Mary's just beat
Creighton?
Gonzaga.
They beat Gonzaga.
I don't know.
No, Creighton's. Well, I mean, you think they won't replace McDermott with another older guy?
I'm just throwing out.
What's a team
Mid-majors.
that, you know, I don't know a lot of mid-major basketball teams, but what's a team that's struggled that was historically good that may want, because you almost look at Leon as
Who's coaching UCLA? Is he a LA guy? I
Oh,
don't
he's
see
that. You know who was the guy that was with Xavier for a number of years?
Nick
That went,
Cronin.
yeah, Nick Cronin.
Cronin's down
Nick.
there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Hate that guy.
They just haven't been very good, and he's a whiny little.
Yeah, but Leon seems like a program builder type of guy. That's what he's done at Boise State. He hasn't been.
it's his only job. It's just interesting. Is he going to retire and only have one head coaching job in the D1 level? That's just how many guys do that?
Well, how many guys have a 15-year career even at a head coach?
It's very rare. That's what I'm saying. He's on borrowed time. He's on borrowed time. Like no one stays this long.
Do you know who Doug Gottlieb is?
Yeah, he's struggling.
He's a coach.
He's struggling.
He, like JJ Redick, former podcast host turned coach.
Yeah, both of them.
So Doug Gottlieb was a sports personality analyst for a really long time, right?
Yep.
He was a popular, I don't know, personality
Yeah.
on
Yeah, I like
radio
him. I
and
like him.
podcast.
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah.
Basketball
And
was his
he
thing.
also
College basketball.
Like he would tweet about Boise State. He liked Boise
Yeah,
State.
he was a
Yeah.
college basketball guy.
Yeah.
He left the mic, the sports broadcasting world, to be a head coach for the Green Bay Phoenix men's basketball team.
And they're killing it.
And they're currently 3-26.
Oh, yeah.
And LeBron James had something to say about Doug Gottlieb.
He did.
Did you see it?
Does this mean that we have coaching in our future because we're podcast
Well, we've coached.
people?
Matt,
Not
you-
at the college level.
Okay.
Club basketball is one thing.
I don't think so. It's a little bit of a stretch there.
Mark, you played though. I mean, Doug Gottlieb, he was a college basketball player.
He was like a D1 player. He was
So you played.
yeah,
not
a little
D1,
little
but-
different level. Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe you could coach at
I
Columbia Basin,
CBC baby.
Walla Walla.
Wall, they still got like the same guy that was coaching when I was playing up there against them is still there, man. Lifer, Ryland. Chad Maffey played for them. Do you remember Chad Maffey?
Can I tell you what LeBron James said about Doug Gottlieb? Because Doug Gottlieb still does his radio show.
He does both?
Yeah, I believe so.
Dude, at least JJ Redick gave up the old man in the 3.
Doug Gottlieb said, for the record, Doug said on his radio show that Bronny James could never play for him. Has to be earned and not given, hence Braun's tweet, LOL. Braun said, earned to not given. Got to give him credit, though. Laughing emoji, poop emoji, over and over and over.
Ouch.
That's kind of what he
struggling.
said.
Yeah.
He's
It's a
struggling.
struggle.
He did fire back, though. He said in the following, this is not high school, middle school, AAU. It's not even college. It's the NBA. It's the Lakers. And if you're not comfortable with that, then maybe don't force Bronny James into the NBA. But I have no response for the dude on that day. I don't know.
They probably both have some merit there for sure. I mean, Bronny does not. We know if he's not LeBron James' kid, he's not playing in the NBA. He's not signed by the Lakers.
Yeah.
And Doug Gottlieb. I mean, I don't know how much you can talk about personnel and stuff when your team's 3-26.
Utah State is coming to
Extra Mile
Arena on Wednesday at 8:30.
Will it be extra quiet arena or extra
I think it'll
silent or
be 8:30 late, but I think there's. Are you guys going? I would if I
Let's
had.
cut, we can
tickets.
cut this part out.
My son
I'm not
has a
going.
game actually a playoff game that night.
I'll take
Basketball.
your tickets.
I'm sure you will.
Can I have your tickets?
I don't know.
I haven't been offered the tickets yet this year. Your son has a playoff game.
I don't know yet.
Don't put him on the spot, Mark.
Hey, by the way, what's the producer's record here with Eagle Middle? Are you guys done? Two more games.
2 more games, Monday and Wednesday.
Have you lost since?
They've
No.
not lost at all.
Whoa.
What's
Undefeated.
what's your average scoring per game? Would you say?
It's
Producers lost.
I'd
6
say,
to 7 points. 6.5.
It's tough. They got 12 kids on the team, so
12
playing time
kids.
is like weird.
Yeah.
And the
12's a
coach,
lot.
the way he does substitutions is you play a quarter, sit a quarter, play a quarter.
So
and
it's
it's
not
all
best
like
players
mapped out
play.
before the game.
Oh, okay.
So
you're not. There's not a starting rotation that's like consistent.
not real. Starting rotation is different every game.
All right.
Yeah.
My question to you: who starts for Boise State on Wednesday night?
I think the same
They
as
stay. Yeah.
Carmichael's in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Meadow,
Ugbo, Carmichael,
Yeah.
Deggy. So Alvaro, Deggy, Meadow, Carmichael, Ugbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same 5.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does Stanley work his way in over Ugbo? Probably
that's
not.
the only
That'd
question
be
mark.
Yeah.
It's the only question mark, but I don't know. I don't know if it matters at this point.
You know what was funny? Are you good at math, Mark?
I mean,
Dude,
better than the average probly, but
Are you?
I'm not a mathematician.
All right.
The average person out there, come on.
Tell me this: what
Okay.
is 66 plus 70?
130. 66 plus 7. Yeah, 136.
Yeah,
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
They
You know
say
where I'm
not
going
to
on
do
this?
math on the air.
Okay. Do you
tough.
know where I'm going with this?
Well, I see in the notes there's a 136.5 bet.
Okay. Well, the over under for the Boise State Nevada game was 136.5.
Oh,
No.
the 3 at the end.
I knew when that
Boise
went down, I
State-
was like, that probably had something to do with something.
Boise State went up 4 points
Did it
with
get on bad
3
beats?
seconds. I don't think it did. Went up 4 points with 3 seconds left. In fact, Deggy shot a free throw and it landed. It like stuck on top of the
oh
rim.
yeah, jump ball.
Jump ball. So Boise State could have
No,
gotten
that
it
wasn't.
back.
That wasn't that free throw. That wasn't the very, very last free throw that happened, was it?
We went up 4 and then they came down and shot a 3.
Yeah, I remember that. But
I thought that was the last free throw. Yeah, he made
Was it?
one
Yeah.
and then he shot the
made
second.
it.
No
Yeah,
way.
he made it to put us up by
Yeah.
4.
okay,
And
and
then-
then that happened.
So even more. So the ball sticks up there, jump ball. It
insane.
could have been Boise's ball, and then we just run it out. Instead, it's Nevada's ball.
And we let him go down.
We let them go down. They shoot a 3 last second
to get the over.
to get the
Hit the
over.
You know
So-
when that went down, my first thought was literally, I wonder what the line was.
Yeah.
But I didn't even think about the over.
I don't know. I think it was a pick 'em. I don't know that there was any
That's
spread at all,
funny.
but it was 136.5 was the
Don't,
total bet.
Don't bet games, people. Don't
bet games.
Oh my God.
Did you see? Are we all right to move on? Did
Yeah.
you see the Arizona BYU?
watched it
game?
live.
I
last-
do
You did.
too.
I watched actually some of the first half and most of the second half.
Yeah, I was right about there too.
Mark, you were obviously rooting for BYU
Sure.
in that game.
My father-in-law was here again. Every time BYU has an amazing finish, my father-in-law is here. He's a BYU
How
guy.
hard was it to watch that game with a BYU fan there?
You know,
Did it bug you?
No,
Okay.
it didn't bug me. He was like, so he
He's
was.
a BYU fan, even though he coached at a.
Well, he went to
another
he coached at a JC, but he went to BYU. He has a BYU degree.
Gotcha.
But no, he was a coach. My father-in-law, college coach for 30 plus years. He was just like, you cannot make.
Wait.
Go
Before
ahead.
you go into that,
Sorry.
I'm going to play this video for all of our viewers to see. If you did not see the BYU Arizona game, number one, Arizona is the 19th ranked team in the country. BYU has isn't as highly ranked, has the same record at the time, 18-8, but they're 9-6 in conference. Arizona's 12-3 in conference. I'm going to play the last segment of the game. There's 34 seconds left, okay? We're going to overlay it here so all the viewers can see. I want to get your reaction on how it ends, all right? So, are you ready? You'll be able to see this.
Ready, I can see.
All right, here we go. So, as we get started, Arizona bangs home a three to go down one, 93-94. BYU is winning by one with 32 seconds left. BYU inbounds the ball, kind of fumbling it around.
Yeah.
Not really sure what to do with it exactly. Calls a timeout. This was an incredibly exciting end of the game, though. Okay,
It was.
BYU still up 1 point, going down. They get a foul right here. It's the 1-and-1, so they're in the bonus. BYU shoots, misses the front end of the 1-and-1, and Arizona takes the ball with 17 seconds left. This is one reason I hate basketball. Arizona drives to the rim, finishes it. Referee installs himself into the game and calls a foul on the body before the shot.
Says it's on the ground.
This is why I hate basketball.
Should have been an N1.
Questionable.
This is why I hate basketball
NBA
so
is
bad.
for sure and
NBA.
one.
Look at this. Look at how he fouls him right here. BYU guy going to the rim. Little hip check. Tiny hip check.
It wasn't a big foul.
This is why I hate
I wouldn't have called
basketball.
that foul.
Look,
Foul either.
Commentator says, yeah, clearly a foul. I hate basketball for that reason.
Yeah, that was.
I hate it.
Because you could say I think the second guy got him too.
Okay.
Right.
But at that situation, even in a normal... So anyway, he makes two. So they're up by one, 13 seconds left. Okay. Put aside the fact that I hate basketball for that reason. BYU inbounds the ball. They pass it around a little bit. And then Sanders gets the ball, drives it right here. Perfect defense.
That was so bad.
So bad.
He's just diving to the right, flailing
Yeah,
around
he's
and
going to the
throwing it
baseline.
up.
Look at this. Look at this, though, on the replay.
No power, no going up through the guy whatsoever.
Look at this on the replay.
The bailout.
How do you defend this any better than this Arizona player did? Hands straight up in the air.
What did they even call it on?
They
I
said
don't
they
know.
bumped him a little. with the
Believable.
hip or
A
whatever.
little, but sure. But come on.
I don't.
But if that play happens with like 15 minutes left in the second
didn't
half,
e-
they don't call it.
No, unreal.
Why call it?
That's the.
It was
okay.
the same guy that called the
he
1-and-1
called
foul.
both of them because he
and
was trailing.
if you look, the guy on the baseline, right by the play,
Didn't call it.
Didn't blow his whistle.
Yeah.
He didn't see a foul. The guy up above by like half
Yeah.
court, he's the one that blew the whistle.
Well, BYU makes both of their free throws.
Turn it off.
Shut it. Yeah, that's enough. Shut it off.
They throw the home run and don't
the
make
thing,
it.
Just in general, like, okay, it was a great finish to the game, by the way, and that's why I love college
The
basketball.
score,
awesome finish.
90 what to what?
96 to
Yeah, are
95.
you kidding me?
A lot of points.
A lot of threes
college
going down.
basketball
in that
game for sure.
Yeah, but that's just, I just hate that so bad when officials decide the game. Like, I'm not like, oh, you got to swallow your whistle and just let them beat someone down. But in a situation like that, you make the call on an egregious foul, or it just, you can't go ticky-tack. You just cannot go ticky-tack.
But that's basketball. That's basketball officiating, in my opinion. It's always ticky-tack.
But it's not always. That's the
It's
thing.
almost always
But
ticky-tack.
sometimes someone gets railed and they don't.
What do
I
you
just,
say
It's inconsistent.
to the person that says, well, it evens out because Arizona got the foul call.
But
and
Arizona,
then
but he
BYU
made
got the foul call.
he made the layup. They didn't have to call anything. The guy made the layup. I'm not gonna. It is what it is as far as who won the game. It's just like that drives you nuts. And even I was sitting there by a BYU alum. There's no one that you could tell you with a straight face, oh, yeah, that's a good call. I mean,
BYU fan would.
no, I was sitting with the BYU fan. He was like, no way can you make that call. No way.
It has to be, and basketball doesn't follow this rule. It has to be, as an officiating crew, you only call the felony. You never call a misdemeanor.
I agree.
In those situations. You
Agree.
never
That's
call
what I
a
was saying.
misdemeanor. And I don't understand why these guys, he knew he was calling a foul. Before the play even started, he knew he was calling a foul.
He was leaning like that
on
way.
both possessions. I honestly believe that.
Yeah.
It's
Why?
tough. Yeah.
Why do that? Why are you so obsessed with getting a part of the game that you make the call before it's even happened? You make the call because there was nothing to see in that situation. The Arizona player did everything exactly perfect.
That was, and then
defense.
the crowd reaction. I mean, that
Wild.
I can imagine if you were at even at Boise State, if that similar situation happens, incensed would be the right word. And then there was actually Arizona had to come out and issue an apology.
What'd they say?
So apparently, after there was a little kerfuffle there with some of the players. Nothing
With
physical.
Arizona and BYU.
Like when they're
Yeah.
shaking hands after
Well,
the game.
yeah.
What happened?
Well,
Just
just
a
some
little-
jawing and stuff. Nothing
Yeah, a
major.
little dust up.
But
BYU
as
said, "Shut the f up."
BYU plans, as BYU is getting off the court, student section pulled an organ on them. Do you remember what Oregon
And
did?
they threw some chairs on them or something or what?
They're chanting F-ing Mormons.
Oh, is that what they did? Oh,
Which is
okay.
funny because I'm not sure there's any Mormons on BYU's basketball team anymore. But none of them
That
that actually
Sanders
play.
guy is for
Oh,
sure.
Yeah, for sure. That guy is. He's at
But
least
they
30.
get that everywhere they go.
I
They
don't
get
know if they
that
get it. I
everywhere
don't
they
know.
go.
I don't know if they get the in unison chant.
Okay, all right.
Enough to
All right.
to have an apology.
Oh, so the
And
Arizona
Arizona student section was giving it to
and
him.
rightfully
that's-
so. They should.
Hey, it can't be
Come
thrown.
on.
You can effing Mormons?
Yeah, they should apologize for that.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
any,
I thought you
like,
said they should be chanting
No,
it to
no. Like any religious.
If they do it in unison, it's fine.
Yeah, of course.
As long as it's well choreographed.
The pitch
yeah.
is good.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily love the religion. I mean, if that goes the same with Gonzaga or St. Mary's or any religious school like that. Like I don't know.
Yeah, you
about
don't get
that,
it.
but-
You don't get effing Christians to Baylor to Gonzaga.
Yeah.
No, it's a Mormon. No doubt about it. I mean, let's not
Yeah.
pretend that they're not. That they're different. They're treated differently than
But
any other.
Arizona
religious
came
school.
out and said,
They apologized
Yeah.
for it and said it was inappropriate, obviously. But tensions ran high for good reason. That drives me nuts when that type of thing happens.
because they would have lost the game. The shot that he put up.
Oh, it didn't even touch the rim. Didn't touch the
No.
net.
And Arizona grabbed it.
Yeah, it was over.
It was over.
Yeah, that's a tough way to lose a game for sure. But the coach was like, did you see his comments afterwards?
BYU
Arizona's
coach?
coach.
What did he say?
He said something to the effect of, don't agree with the call, although they tell me he's a pretty highly rated referee. But he goes, we didn't lose it there. We gave up 94 points on our home court before that. That's what
true.
lost us the game. So
That's true.
that is true. But man,
there was
that
a
is
lot of good shooting.
that was
17
great shooting. That was a
gonna
fun
say-
basketball
I
game
was
to
thinking
watch.
not much defense is being played, but I don't think that was the case. I think people were just shooting.
Bang down
really
threes.
well.
Yeah, it was good. It was a fun game to watch. I think BYU actually. I hadn't watched BYU once all year. That was the first time I watched them. But they have
Mark's
some.
lying. He loves.
No, that would be not
You
me.
and Brett.
Yeah, not me. But no, they look good. I mean, both teams look good in that game. But it's like I could see them making a run.
Yeah.
Well, they should be really good next year. They got the number one overall
saw that.
recruit,
Yeah, $7 million. $7 million.
allegedly.
Ryan Smith. Yeah,
He said he didn't pay him.
yeah.
He said he didn't get involved.
Someone
in payment.
did.
Well, someone paid him. Our athletic director, Jeramiah Dickey, he had a Q&A prior to the Nevada game. I wasn't a part of it.
I wish I would have
Yeah.
said something.
What would you have asked him?
When's he coming on the podcast?
Oh, would he have responded?
He's making
to
his
that?
appearance.
He's kind of
everywhere
making the
else.
rounds right now.
Yeah.
He
Oh, we
was on-
should have Q&A'd him on that point.
He's doing a monthly thing with BNN. He does the Ask the AD on
KTIK.
Prater in the ball game.
All right.
Which John Patrick, farewell to him.
Hey, yeah.
Local
farewell to
legend.
Jim.
Yeah.
Who's replacing him? Do they know?
I don't know. I've
Nathan
noticed,
Carroll.
I don't think so.
Guy's making his way up there.
Yeah. They've had a different because he's like the engineer sound guy. JP does that stuff too, and they've had a younger guy.
Do you
on there, so I don't
know
know.
a young up and coming producer like personality that could potentially be the background for a professional organization?
No.
I don't know anybody like that.
I don't know.
I literally don't know anybody like that. Like, he's on his phone right
he's
now
not
anyway.
even
Doesn't
here.
even know what's happening. Whatever. Why do we pay him? Like, why do we?
The thing is, he's not on his phone. He doesn't have the internet. He doesn't have anything on his phone.
This
What-
has to be
what are you
quite
doing?
boring. That has to be really boring.
What are you even doing back there?
I'm surprised he's still here after doing this for a month or so.
Huh? What?
He's
He's tired.
It's 9:48 on a Saturday night or Sunday night. He's got school tomorrow. So
We got to roll.
All right.
yeah.
Well,
Anyway, let's
JD, ask
Mark cover some of the
Yeah.
highlights.
Yeah,
What do you-
so
what do
I
you
had
say?
it pulled up. It went. I lost it. So no, first of all, I think it's pretty cool that Jeramiah Dickey is just open to that. Right? He used to do that more. He hadn't done it for a long time, but I think he got a lot of questions about the Pac-12. That was the one I wanted to mention. There was one about the Pac-12, and it was a little bit of the way the person phrased the question was a little bit jabby. Like, why would they do it this way, and why don't we have a media deal and his response, and why don't we have another team? Like, you need 8 teams. We got 7.
Yeah.
His response was somewhat like,
He said like we are where we want to be.
yeah,
We're in the
he was
positioned well.
going positive. That's a topic for another day, the whole Pac-12 thing. It's like, are we going down the same path the Pac-12 did like 2 years ago? Like, just wait,
gonna
bad
be-
deal. It's
this
worse
big-
than we thought. Like, oh,
Or is
gosh.
it Big East 2.0?
big?
And like it doesn't even
well,
happen.
It doesn't even happen.
It doesn't
I don't know.
look like many teams
don't
are
think we can do
rushing
that.
to be a part of the
No.
Pac-8,
Yeah.
9.
But no, I think there was that one that stuck out to me. There was some people asking about the what's after the North End Zone project. He mentioned they pivoted from the east side to the North End Zone just purely for cost. They felt like they could get something impactful done at a cheaper price. They do want to do something with the South End Zone because I was down there today. We were at a soccer tournament out on the Blue today, and there's all that space underneath the bleachers there that's just not being used at all for office, whatever spaces.
Somebody
So-
asked him about lowering the field.
Yeah, I was surprised.
He said,
he didn't
we'll
poo-poo
look
it.
at it, and the water table
Yeah,
being right by the river is a concern. He's like, I'm sure there's a way to do it, but haven't.
that
got there
would be
yet.
my. Of course, it's like you're putting in this $65 million facility with these ground level suites, and then what? In 5 years, you're going to lower the field. Like, how's that going to work? I think that would be the best. I've always felt like, man, if you could go down and then bring the seats in, that would be the best. But I think they've looked at it multiple times. It seems like it would be tough. There was multiple questions about baseball.
And not happening.
He's been pretty forceful before, like, this is not happening. Sorry, guys. He wasn't that forceful. He just was like, hey, it would be foolish for us to make any of those decisions while there's so much churn and change in our industry. And I agree with him completely. I mean, who wouldn't like to? I mean, I'd much rather go to a Boise State baseball game than the Boise Hawks, just because I have more
for
associated
sure.
with Boise State and whatever. Especially if they had a nice stadium. But the reality is, I mean, we've sat on here multiple times and talked about NIL and money and finances. And the reality is that it would be a money pit. It would be a massive money pit. Not only the scholarships and tuition and all that stuff for the players,
Coaches,
but the
salaries.
coaches' salaries, the facility.
mean-
We're not in a position to add any sports, let alone a big one.
If you can't get Brandon to a basketball game, you're not getting him to
No.
a baseball game.
Dude, I'd go
so
to
that's just
a
not
baseball
happening.
game.
Yeah.
I'd go. It's not happening. It's just
Come on.
not realistic.
Silver lining.
We need. I got one other thing, and I wish I would have. I don't know, asked this or whatever, but I just think so. This whole new NIL stuff coming up, starting this fall, they're going to go from 85 scholarships to upwards
There we
of
go
105.
again. Here we go again.
Quick question. I haven't thrown this out.
Oh, okay.
Dude, what?
Come on, but every time we talk about okay, keep going. Just keep going.
Wet blanket.
So my question is, so we're talking about wanting NIL for Boise State, right? And paying our players, paying the ones to stay here and whatever. How many scholarships? So we have 85 scholarships right now, okay? How many of those 85 scholarships are on the scout team, would you think?
Don't know.
30 that don't routinely play?
I don't know about that. That seems high to me. That
I'll
don't
bet it's a
routinely play.
lot. I'll bet it's
I
a
don't
lot.
know,
We're
but
not
how
playing
many- how many-
85 guys.
How many guys are playing on defense? 40?
But
'Cause
we're
you're
not
rotating
going to
in-
go
No,
over
no,
85,
you're not
are
paying.
we?
I'm saying, what if you? This is way out there, and they'd never do it. But instead of going up, they certainly don't need
down.
to add more. Go down.
Yeah.
And take the savings and put it in your NIL fund and pay the guys that are actually playing.
I think that was the talk that you could go up to 105.
Right.
But I thought we were going to stay.
Yeah, we're not.
And stay at 85 is
Yeah.
what I thought.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's the case. But I'm just saying, if they're looking for money to
You have
save,
to sell me on that.
I'm telling you that I bet you that 60 through 85 are not playing.
Okay, how much money do they spend on those scholarships? Because
I'll bet it's
out of pocket.
Yeah. Well, just the cost of the scholarship and the housing and the whatever.
For
I mean,
what
they
is the
need
cost
bodies.
for
I
Boise
get it.
State? Because if they don't necessarily
bet it's 50
pay
grand.
money out of their pocket to pay tuition, out of their pocket
They're
to
just
pay
giving them
books,
stuff they already have access to.
Well, so there's money that moves around somewhere. They don't just say there's no transaction. There's a transaction that happens.
My thing is you're going to have to start paying money out of pocket to people, to players, right? To the
Right.
collective or whatever. And I wonder if that's more painful for them than it is, because they could say it costs $15,000 to go to Boise State.
No, it costs. I'll bet a scholarship football athlete's $50,000 a year, and out of state would be more. I'll bet it's $50,000. The cost to the school, and if they said we're going to take 25 times $50,000 and put that in our NIL fund and pay, and so we have a bunch of walk-ons. I mean, I'm not saying they do it, and
Now they have to pay.
you have a bunch
to
of
go to
walk-ons
school.
already, right? How many guys do you actually need?
Well,
NFL has
okay.
53.
Okay, so let's just start on defense, right?
They
You
don't
essen-
put- okay.
You essentially have 8 defensive linemen that are playing every game.
Sure.
Okay. Now you're going back to the linebackers. You essentially have 8
4.
linebackers.
Bullshit. No. 4. 4. No way.
4?
I'm telling
you
you.
don't have like
we only
throughout
play.
this
We start.
season,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
because you have your inside, outside,
Yeah.
and then you could have your strong side and weak side guys. So you could have your 4 linebackers right there,
Okay.
potentially.
So
And then-
okay. Again, it's just an idea. I'm not saying they'd
Yeah.
actually do it. I'm just saying there's no way that they use 85 scholarships in a year.
I think you could get.
and if you're trying to scrap, if you took 15 and paid your starters, I don't know.
If I was the coach, I'd say go get money from Sensi or Albertson.
Well, that's
or
step
whatever.
1, but they've been trying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Our producer's telling us it's time to wrap it up.
Hold on. JD said the following about a statue for Ashton Genty.
Oh, yeah. There was statue time.
They're
see that.
working on defining the expectations for retiring jerseys, honoring teams, blah, blah, blah. But he said, we will definitely be doing a statue or 2 in the near future.
That's exciting.
That's cool. That's needed.
Kellen?
Kellen.
Got to have a Kellen.
I don't think you could do Kellen now. I think Pete probably deserves one. I don't think you. Well, Pete's retired too. I was gonna say you certainly wouldn't do it when he's at Washington, but I think you're talking Kellen, Genty, and Pete would be the top 3. I don't
Because
think that's any.
Lyle Smith is the
He's
only one
already
that
there.
has one.
Yeah.
And maybe Sherm Blaser.
Oh, yeah. That's a given. That's a given.
Does anybody listening to this know who Sherm Blosser is?
I don't know. Look him up.
Well, maybe.
Watch the Nevada
Maybe.
game.
Anything else?
We got a big
Are
game
you
Wednesday.
going?
so.
Are you going?
I just looked, man. 8:30. That's tough.
Jackson, would you want to go to that game? No.
See?
He's tired right now.
He's tired right now.
Tired right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch. Big game.
Tough.
Big game. If they
They
win
need
out.
us there.
If they win out. Phew.
Do you think you get $10 for your balcony
Did-
seats?
No.
Did Utah State beat San Diego State?
I don't think I paid $10.
Utah
a ticket
State
for
won.
him.
Utah State beat
Okay,
San
coming
Diego
off a
State.
win.
Yeah.
It's a big game. Big game.
Awesome. Well, that's going to do it for the show today. We want to thank Mark Moss for joining us, Amari Whiting for making the wall, Jace's
Ouch, man. Ouch.
black
Ouch.
shoes. Mark's shaking his head at me. The Black Shoes White Sox combo. Jameson Davis, Chris Minor.
Yeah.
Anybody else we need to shout out?
Oh, send that out. Send $10 out. You want somebody
$10.
on
Yeah,
there?
that's right. Send us $10.
You don't like dentists? $10.
If you don't like dentists,
take them down.
If you think it's a scam, take them down.
Nah, not a scam. Good oral hygiene.
If you don't like
is incredible.
if you don't like fluoride,
$10.
maybe you don't. $10.
Take it down.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Whoa, perfect time.